Okay, the funny story about when I was paying for my flight out here. Um, Jeep phoned me up and asked if I wanted to play about 3 weeks, maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks before this tournament. And he was telling me that he had a table at home, a Warrior table at home. He was working on his banks, and everything. Banks were going great. And he's not one to really exaggerate stuff, so I believed him that his banks were going good. And I know this table is good for banking from the back, so I thought, well, if he's got the table at home, he's practicing these banks, and knowing Jeep, he will practice them. He's not just going to say, oh yeah, I got it going on, and he really does practice hard, and he doesn't exaggerate stuff. So I can have some faith that he really did have some good banks. So, and plus he just knows my game really well enough, and we played together enough that he knows kind of how to keep me on a even keel, or if I'm going off, not being disciplined or not being patient, he knows to get me back on track. He knows my game, and he's not shy enough, or he's not shy at all to, you know, slap me around and say, you got to slow down, you got to do this, you got to, keep playing a good game. And we're able to always talk about stuff and switch whenever we need to, kind of thing too. Um, so he phones me up, says he wants to play. And I said, well, okay, I'll look into time off and flights and stuff like that. And so I looked at time off, was able to get the time off, and then I looked at flights, and flights didn't look too bad. They were, kind of going from Victoria, which is on Vancouver Island, which is on the very west coast of Canada, going from Vancouver to Atlanta, which is on the southern east coast of the United States. Quite a lengthy trip, and sometimes I have to fly out of Seattle. Sometimes you try to fly out of Vancouver, but getting off the island is a major pain. There's no bridge from the island to the mainland. You have to get a ferry. And sometimes if you want to go, say, if I want to go through Seattle, I have to pretty much drive my car from downtown Victoria up to the ferry terminal, 30 minutes, and then I have to get on the ferry. Then it costs you like $40 to get on the ferry, and then pay for your car, $40 one way, and then so you have to take your car across. And then if I want to go down to Seattle, well, then I have to drive down to Seattle, which is about 2.5 hours. And then I'm parking in at the Seattle airport, which is another, if it's 4 nights, it's like another $60. So, talking about $150, $160 with gas. Driving a nice Nissan Murano is not exactly cheap on gas, but so there's $200 there. So sometimes flying out of Victoria is, sometimes just best from a time-saving standpoint. So I wanted to fly out of Victoria, make this trip as minimal as possible on family and stuff like that, so I wouldn't be away from family too long. So I booked I left booking flights, so I thought they looked all right. So I left booking flights till probably what was last minute. So about 2 weeks ago, I went to go book my flights and said, okay, I better book them. Everything's settled. So I go online. It's all the kids are in bed. Everything's everyone's asleep in the house. So I'm up by myself. It's about 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm looking at flights, and I'm looking at the Expedia site and Orbitz and Air Canada. I'm checking out all the flights and Kayak and stuff like that. And I'm looking for flights, and they're all about they say they're about Canadian 600 or so. And I thought, well, if that's what it costs, fine. I've left it too late. But I was looking at all these things. I had so many browser windows open, and it's like I said, it's really late, and I'm really tired, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I better not book now, or I'm going to make a mistake, because I'm tired. And so I thought, okay, I'll just wait for tomorrow, while I'm fresh, so I don't make a mistake with flying on the wrong day or whatever, paying some weird price. So then so I wait for the next day, and I'm at work, and it's lunchtime, and I go back on some of the sites. So go on Orbitz. And I look at the flights. I go, oh, hey, there's a flight. That's really good timing. It's 6:25 or whatever, and that's about right. That's a good price. Okay, let's book that. So I go through the whole book thing, and then I get the confirmation email, and it says in it that was 625 US, not 625 Canadian. With the exchange rate, what it is, it's not the best as it was on par for a while, so that was really nice. But now I think we're at like 80 cents to the dollar. So my flight ended up costing about $200 more than I thought, which kind of sucks. So my flight ended up costing, excuse me, $850 or so, as opposed to the 600 that I thought it was. So anyways, it's kind of ironic that I didn't want to make a mistake, when I was doing it all late at night, and then I end up in the next day anyways, being fresh-minded, still making that stupid mistake. The exact mistake I was trying to avoid. So anyways, stupid little story. Most of you probably have turned this off by now. But with all the winnings I have, I pretty much made up for that mistake. I just have to pay for my hotel, and that's, if you go to these tournaments and you can end up, paying for most of your trip, you've done well. You don't really make a lot of money at these tournaments unless you win, open singles or open doubles or stuff like that. But actually thinking about it, if I, got the table with the retail value of the table, it's probably like $1,000 or $800 or something like that. So that's, probably came out ahead at this tournament. So that's actually an awesome result to think of it. Very rare to be able to come out ahead being a guy. That is, girls can usually come out ahead if they finish in the top money. So that's my adventures for the Atlanta $50,000 U.S. Open on Warrior tables. Don't know if I mentioned that before. Anyways, thanks for listening, and probably my next event, I'm kind of thinking Calgary, but I don't know. Calgary, there's a foosball tournament in Calgary happening over early May. If I can get out there and get back quick without taking any vacation days or anything like that, I might go. It's always good to support Canadian events, although there's not many of them, so it's important to support the ones that do occur. At least from a representation standpoint, being one of the better players in Canada, it's always nice to show up and show the other Canadian foosers that there is some good quality foosers in their country that they can aspire to match or be or whatever. And then after that, I can't see myself going to another tournament till Worlds, which is in September. All my vacation days are spent. I'm going to France this year, representing Canada in the World Cup. Really ate up like 7 vacation days. I get 15 a year. Ate up 7 there, and then there was a tournament earlier as well that I went to, Vegas, which ate up another 4 or so. And this one ate up a couple, and then that, if you do the math, 7 plus 4 plus 2, I got 2 left. And I got a family vacation that I'm building the 2 on, if you must know. And then Worlds. I still need to have a little bit of time for Worlds, so hopefully that timing works out. Worlds is in like 5 months in September, so who knows, maybe won't have anything till then, but maybe a couple entries between now and then, if there's anything interesting happens or occurring. So, thanks for listening so far, and that was a 8-minute little funny story about my stupid airfare ticket. Anyways, thanks for listening, and talk to you later.